Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Angela, and we are married
And bored. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Married and Bored podcast.
We're here, and we are happy. We are happy to be here, aren't we, Christian?
Yeah, we are. It's holiday season,
Yes, it is.
and there's a turkey in the oven.
Right now?
No.
We should probably go take care of
I'm just trying
that.
to set the scene
Okay.
so that when people listen to the show, their senses are just assaulted with holiday
Sage
cheer.
and rosemary,
And potatoes.
potatoes. Yes. And everything that they're thankful for.
Well, we appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to another show. Man, it's another show. Let's get going. Ange, what's up, man?
What? Man.
What's up, girl?
What's up, woman? Okay. Well, since you mentioned Thanksgiving, I'm going to mention Black Friday.
Oh, okay. What about it specifically? We all
Well,
know it's coming.
Yes. So we are looking for things, and one of those things are game deals.
Sure, always.
Are we looking for a game in particular? No. We just really want to look at games. And remember the rule where we weren't going to buy anything between now and Christmas?
No, I don't remember that at all. You
Well-
remember my rule for not buying any games in 2022?
Yeah, it's time to start thinking and dreaming about a new resolution you can maybe attain for 2023.
What do you think? Okay, let's go there. What do you think that should be, realistically?
You know what? I'm going to save my thoughts on that for our end of the year show.
Oh, okay.
So
no
you're gonna
okay.
no spoilers.
Okay.
Anyway, our game store, local friendly game store, is having a Black Friday sale, and it's supposed to be good, but we don't know what it is because they're just teasing us with like it's their 1-year anniversary and it's also like the biggest sale they've ever had or something they said on their Instagram. So we're just really, really excited for that, not only for ourselves, but also for our BGG Secret Santa, because we are hoping to buy the games for them from the local game store if they have the ones.
Yeah, for our target.
Yeah, for the person we are gifting to.
Yeah, we have no idea what we are receiving. We haven't got that yet. Should be coming
Nope.
soon, hopefully. Is there any game in particular that would be like an instant purchase if they had it for you on sale at the store? Come Black Friday.
That's so hard because a lot of the answers to that question are on our BGG Secret Santa list.
Well, you can still double up. I mean, not double up the games. That's happened before. But
I was like, do you want 2 copies?
just with if we didn't know that was happening.
Okay, I mean, if some like smaller, I'm thinking like Roll-and Rights were discounted,
Okay.
I would jump on that, like the Three Sisters.
I don't even know what that one is.
I've just had my eye on that for a while and never really felt like it was worth the full purchase from us
Okay.
because we don't play Roll-and Rights that often. Mm-mm. So if that were discounted, I would take a really good look at that,
Okay.
along with everything on our BGG Secret Santa.
What are some highlights for you there again? I know we mentioned it in the past, but
Honey Buzz, I would definitely strongly consider if it were on sale. Wonderland's War, although we haven't seen that in a bit at our local game store. It was
No.
there and then it was gone.
probably waiting for reprint, probably sold out.
Yeah. I know our local game store has Final Girl, and if you guys have listened to our chits and chats from previous, I'm waiting very impatiently for Final Girl. So yeah, I don't know that I would purchase any Final Girl. I think I would have to just wait patiently for what we ordered to arrive like a year from now.
Well, yeah, we're getting it all.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, well, we can get it now,
I know, but
just have patience, I guess, which is the worst.
it's the worst.
It's the worst.
Yeah. Okay, what's up with you, Christian?
Thanks for asking, Angela.
You're welcome.
It's been a crazy week of board games. We reached way back into the repertoire of games.
Wait, what was that word?
Repertoire or reached?
Yeah, reached.
Of games. Our son just turned 7.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. One of the things that he requested, and it is a chess set. He's been in chess club this year. As a first grader, I thought that was so weird that he would request to do that.
Oh, not weird.
Just out of the blue.
Yes, it was out of the blue.
We weren't expecting that at all.
He went from soccer, basketball,
Chess.
to chess. And not that those things can't happen, but we had just never really...
We didn't see it coming for sure. So we're like, okay. He played chess every week this whole semester. So we needed to get him a set. And we got him a set that was like a 3-in-1. So it has checkers, chess, and then backgammon.
Yes.
And the funny thing is I learned how to play backgammon in like 4th grade in my like accelerated learning class.
That is so funny. I've never known how to play backgammon.
It's really strange. I admittedly forgot how to play. But then we started learning the rules, and I was like, oh, I kind of remember this now. And we played it, and I don't really know what I'm doing.
Well,
much like any game.
It had been
honestly
30 plus years since you have.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Played
and then
it.
checkers, I don't know when the last time I played regular checkers is.
Right. I don't know either. And I thought I understood chess because I've watched The Queen's Gambit. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
So I thought I really understood it, but then I said, why are there 2 queens? And then my son had to explain, I don't even know what it is. When you get
apparently, if you get a pawn to the other side of the board, you get to upgrade it.
Yeah, and I don't mean 2 queens like one of each color. I mean like 2 queens per color.
Yeah, they get promoted.
Yeah,
That's
so
a big
I don't
promotion from a pawn to a queen.
Seriously, I don't know. I'm going to have to look some stuff up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, the rules, they might be fuzzy coming from a first grader.
They also might be fuzzy coming from me.
That's very true. So we played that. It was fun. Looking forward to, teaching the kids how to do that, as well as, I don't even think they've played checkers. So it'll be fun to do those easy classic games with them this holiday.
Yeah. Teaching them how to play backgammon and checkers.
For sure.
They might teach us how to play chess.
Well, Ben, yeah, he will for sure. Yeah. Definitely. Other than that, we've been playing some Marvel Champions, of course. We got some new Marvel Champions heroes.
Storm and
Wolverine.
And then the Mojo pack.
Oh, yeah, Mojo. I had totally forgotten about that. I'm excited to give that one a go because it's like a mini campaign.
Yeah.
And stuff changes as you go through it. So.
And we're deciding to re-sleeve it all.
Re-sleeve it.
Yeah. That's a verb. That's a verb.
Yeah. Because the colors that we are using are no longer in print.
Well, we just can't match them very well.
Yep. So we're slowly buying a ton of more sleeves. And that's the debate I keep on having in my head internally and eternally. Do you sleeve everything? Or do you just sleeve what you're using?
No, for this game, my opinion is you sleeve everything.
Is there a game where you wouldn't sleeve everything and just have like a rotating amount of cards that are sleeved, excuse me?
I don't know. I guess if we play Marvel Champions so often and we switch characters so often.
Yeah, we're switching in and out constantly.
That I feel like it would be just more work to have to rearrange sleeves every time we did that.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably why we do it the way we do it.
Right. But if we weren't playing as often, or if we were like set on 4 heroes and we just didn't really give the other heroes that much love,
yep.
then I could see not sleeving everything.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see what happens there. We're slowly making that up, and then we'll have a ton of extra sleeves that we'll sleeve something else with, or throw them away.
No, you can't throw away the sleeves.
Okay.
Usually I'm the one that throws stuff away.
That's true.
But, and we've been playing a few randoms. We broke out Mariposas, which we love and have talked about on the podcast before.
Looking forward to the new one, Fox Experiment, next year.
But we haven't played Mariposas in probably a year.
True.
And so it was fun to kind of bust that out again. And then we, of course, played Arc Nova again.
Of course.
Because Arc Nova is just
what was the
my
score?
favorite. I don't remember.
No.
I know you had 0. Was it 0? Exactly? Okay.
It was either 1 or 0 points.
And then, which, if you've never played Arc Nova, any positive score is good. Like, so 0 is not as bad of a score as it sounds like.
Well, no, but when your opponent had 43.
Yes, so I had 43.
Yes.
But but I just want people to know,
I apologize for the dismantling of your zoo.
in general, you usually play a game and 0 means you haven't gone anywhere. But in this game, it means that you did pretty well.
No, I try really hard in that game, and then to get 0 points, it's frustrating.
Because
it was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, what did I get? 0. Well,
right.
Thanks for wasting my time, Arc Nova.
I love that game, and I love that it's solo as well, because it's not always Christian's favorite to play.
You have said that it's the best solo game of all time.
It might be. I mean, Obsession is really far up there. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
We played that a few weeks ago, too.
Yeah.
With the game group.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if I could pick out which one is better right now, but...
Okay. I think overall, I like Arc Nova better than Obsession, just as a 2-player game. When we play it, you and I.
Okay. Yeah,
I like that. I don't dislike Arc Nova. I just dislike losing that by that wide a margin.
Right.
Because I did really well, in my opinion. Well, really.
I think you do. You do really well on the appeal track.
Gotta look good, baby.
Yeah.
My zoo's gotta look good. But then when it comes to conservation and other environmental things,
not so much.
Terrible.
So you just gotta like balance it out a little bit more.
Yeah, and so that is the part of the game where you have to plan. Mm-hmm. And I don't do that.
That's
it's like,
true.
What I have in my hand, it's like, oh, this gorilla's worth 8 points. Play it.
Look at how appealing my zoo is.
This tiger is worth 24 points. Play it. And then it's like, oh, you need to plan for the future and let herbivores go.
Yeah.
Like, nope, I didn't play any herbivores. Shoot.
So anyway, that's what's been going on in our neck of the woods.
Yeah. We are going to talk about a very fun game by one of probably our favorite game company.
Publisher,
whatever.
Leader
Games. We're going to talk about Ahoy. Let's set sail and start this journey together.
Ahoy!
All right, guys, we are talking about Ahoy, the newest, hottest release
from Leader Games.
Shout out to Minnesota,
where they are based.
If you're from Minnesota, you love everything about Minnesota. This is no difference. So, Angela, Ahoy, brand new game. I picked it up at Gen Con way back in August.
Yes.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
I wasn't expecting to get it at Gen Con because...
Tell the story.
Have I told this story?
Probably.
I'm going to tell it again because it's a props. They were promoting Ahoy, doing previews and streams, and I tweeted them. I said, hey, Ahoy at Gen Con? And they said, no. They actually responded and said, nope. Probably.
Dagger through the heart.
Yep. And then... first my soul was crushed.
Absolutely.
Down in the Marianas Trench of my heart. I'm trying to do just ocean and pirate themed things today. So I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm going to Gen Con. I'm going to stop by their booth anyways. And I did, and they had a whole stack of Ahoy. And I was like, can I buy Ahoy? And they're like, sure.
Dirty, rotten liars.
They said, sure. And so I did. And so I was very excited to get that. But enough about me. Let's talk about Ahoy. Angela, do you want to describe what Ahoy is and a little bit how to play?
Yeah, Christian's always talking about himself. Let's transition out of that.
New Year's resolution.
All right. Ahoy is a game for 2 to 4 players. It's going to feature sailors and smugglers on the high seas. In true Leader Games fashion, we've got an asymmetrical game, but lighter asymmetrically than Root is.
Yes.
The players are going to either take on the role of sailors, which are sharks and mollusks, and they attack and conquer and dominate, trying to secure dominance in areas, or you're going to be a smuggler trying to acquire and deliver cargo. all players have the same ultimate goal, which is getting the most fame, victory points, basically, in this game.
Yep. First to 30 ends the game, if I'm correct.
That is correct, I believe. But you can earn victory
it triggers the end of the game.
after the end of the game.
Yep. So it's, like Angela said, it's asymmetric. Some people kind of say it's root light.
Light, yes.
The asymmetry is there, but it's not as stark of a contrast as the factions in root.
Okay, yes, I would agree.
You can definitely tell what the other people are doing. Sometimes in root, you have no idea.
Yes, no idea.
So let's jump into it, Angela. Setting it up and tearing it down, especially in the holidays, we don't have a lot of time to play games. Mm-hmm. So getting a game to the table is important.
Yeah.
Or quickly.
Yeah.
And getting it off the table for more turkey is also important.
Yes.
Where do you think this one stands in our scale? Where do you think this one stands?
I think it's pretty simple. The game play board is going to just increase as the game goes. So it starts out pretty small. And then there's not that much to set up. What I like that Root does, as well as Ahoy, here you get to have your setup instructions on the back of your board. So that's pretty easy to do. There's cards and there's player boards. But that's pretty much it at the start. And then I'd say the total overall game space is medium. Not super huge, but not small.
Yeah, it just depends on how the game progresses because the board is different every time you play.
Yes, it is the ocean.
It's the ocean. Wow.
Which is different every time you play.
Every time you visit?
That's right.
You never step in the same river twice. That's
what do you learn from Pocahontas?
That's from Pocahontas. Yeah. Yep. Who knew that would come back? Yeah, I would agree. It's very simple. Everybody, you get dice to set up, you roll them, and you get your player board. It's really not that difficult. Everybody starts in an area of 2 of the ocean tiles, and then it just expands out from there, which is a very fun aspect of the game that I like a lot.
Yeah, the exploring part.
Yes. So after we get it set up, how easy, Ange, is this to learn to play, and also for us to teach?
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Like, I would maybe say this is a beginner's asymmetrical game.
Totally.
If someone wanted to learn that. If you're playing with, I don't know, Uncle Ron and
Grandma,
I don't know that I would bust this one out just because, you want people that have a board game background.
Sure.
Maybe not an asymmetrical board game background, but just they're willing to sit down and learn something that's not Monopoly.
Yeah, it could be difficult because the Mollusk Union plays very differently than the Bluefin Squadron.
Right.
The actions they take are very similar, but their board presence totally different.
Yes.
So if you're playing as the Bluefin, the sharks, you're going to have little shark minions all over the board.
Yeah.
And that looks...
Hopefully.
Yeah, if you're playing well. And that looks really cool. And and you can tell, they own a lot of territories.
Yeah.
But then, like, the Mollusk Union is different. They put their little what's called comrade tokens on islands. Now, that may not look as far spread out as the Bluefin Squadron.
Yeah.
But they might be actually beating them. It doesn't look like it in terms of, like, maybe people playing this game for the first time will say, like, it's like Risk because you try to conquer territories.
Right.
But each one does it differently.
And that's why you want someone that's willing to learn an asymmetrical game, because then you've got smugglers who don't really care about all the dominance and fighting at all. I mean, they do slightly, but...
They do at the end of the game, but that's different.
That's getting into technicalities.
Yes.
They're not fighting. They're just going around acquiring and delivering cargo.
Yes.
So that would be really hard, I think, for a non-gamer to understand.
Yeah, it's like, well, how come I don't have all your shark tokens like you?
Yeah.
It's like, well, all you have to worry about is taking these pumpkins to the Orange Island. That's it.
That's it.
And then also not dying along the way.
Yeah.
Or getting scurvy.
Yes, that's not it. This is not Oregon Trail.
Scurvy is not a mechanic in the game, just so you know. But yeah, I would say it's medium. There are some finicky things when it comes to actions in this game that can be confusing. So if you're reading the rule book, you're allowed to do 2 dice actions, or you're required actually to do 2 dice actions per turn. But then there's other actions that you can do on top of that.
That aren't dice actions.
As long as you're not placing a dice on your board, you can do it on that turn. Mm-hmm. If I'm wrong, I will be very shocked.
Yeah, somebody so let us know.
But that's the way we interpret it. And then to make it even weirder and more asymmetric, the Bluefin Squadron, they have extra dice. So they kind of get an extra half turn every round of the game.
Yep.
So that it's a little confusing. It's like...
turn order can get a little funky.
Definitely. But once you get past all that and you do a few rounds, you might even be good to like play a few rounds of this game for your first time and then just start over.
Yeah.
Like, okay, does everyone understand what's happening? All right, good. We're going to start over.
Yeah.
And then we're going to jump into it.
Totally.
So I do enjoy playing this game. We haven't had the opportunity to teach it to anyone other than each other yet. But I'm looking forward to that. And I think we've got a good handle on it. And I don't think it'll be too difficult.
No, not to teach to our game group.
Well, and also...
even to our kids. But now our kids are really used to games.
Yeah.
So that's different, but they're also immature and crazy. So, you know.
And one thing we should mention too, when we're learning how to play this game, is it when you play with 2 players, as we do most of the time, you're only allowed to use the sharks and the mollusks.
Yes.
You're not allowed to be a smuggler in a 2-player game, which honestly is kind of a bummer. But I get it, because they play so differently. It would just be like, if you and I are both smugglers, it would just be like a race to get to where...
Yeah, well, and we wouldn't be betting on anything, like what you alluded to at the end.
Yeah.
So, this has very limited options for 2 players, but honestly, that doesn't come as a surprise, knowing Leader Games. Root has very limited options for 2 players.
Up until recently, for sure.
Yeah, and then Vast is... another one where the 2-player options are very limited.
Yeah, that's one I'd like to play more of. We tried it a few times, like a year ago. We borrowed it from a friend, and whatever was going on at the time, the game just didn't click.
Right.
And so I'd like to try it again, obviously with more players. It's like the OG Root. It's a predecessor to Root.
Another asymmetrical leader game.
It's what they're great at. And then of course Oath is a beast.
Yeah.
And that doesn't play very well at 2.
Right.
But I want to convince you someday to play that with me at 2.
I will try. I will try. And we did get the opportunity to play this one with 3, so we're going to get to talking about how that
definitely
goes.
So let's jump into one of our next favorite topics, and that's the immersiveness of the game. How well does it tell the story? How well does it build the world that it lives in? Angela, set sail.
I notice how you're throwing all of the first opinions at me.
Yeah.
Is that like so you can like think while I'm talking?
Yeah, possibly.
Oh, okay. I think it's okay. It's good. It's the fighting, the exploring. Those are piratey things.
Yes.
And those are mechanics that are
scurvy.
Yeah, there's no scurvy. Anyway, the things I mentioned were true. They're in the game. Those seem piratey. We mentioned the tiles form the ocean. That's adding to the set of what the game's trying to do. The art is fun. You know, it's I don't know, I call it the Leader Games art. It's just...
Well, yeah, it's Kyle Farron, and it's animalistic. Not animalistic, but it's like... what's the word?
Pirates as animals.
Yeah, and some of them are humanish, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Very stylized.
But I wouldn't say it's the most immersive pirate game out there.
No.
Like, Forgotten Waters just blows this one out of the...
Yeah, that one's a narrative game, and so you're telling telling a pirate story. And so, like, for us, that takes the cake Is that a word
Yeah.
that you use?
Phrase.
A saying you
Yeah.
use? But I do like this game. One of my favorite actions of the game is exploring
Right.
and doing that. And so as you explore, you draw a new sea tile and you flip it over and you can orient it however you want that benefits you or messes someone else up. But it kind of expands the sea and the game board differently each time you play.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool. Fighting is interesting. I do like how you can load cannons and that gives you a boost to your fighting.
Okay, yeah.
And then you can hire a crew, which is
True.
is very cool. Mm-hmm. Which when we've played, we haven't really done enough of that, or had powerful crewmates to like really change the course of the game.
I feel like the Smuggler did in our 3-player game.
Yeah, the Smuggler.
But they had more opportunity to hire crew.
Yeah, we were very money strapped, you and I, when we were playing that.
And I think I mentioned before that the smugglers don't fight. That's not quite true. If they go past cannons, they're gonna be drawn into a fight.
Sometimes you're required to fight.
Yeah. So when you mentioned cannons, I thought of that, and I was like, oh, I better correct myself. But their main job is not to like fight and dominate like the other two.
Yeah, I would find it interesting if you've played this before as a smuggler. Have you been like an attack smuggler, like just gone around and mess up the other sailors as you go around and deliver stuff? I just wonder if that would be interesting or annoying, or how that would play out. I definitely want to jump into that a little bit more.
Sure.
At the 3 or 4 player game. And then just so we should clarify, when you get to 4 players, it's 2 smugglers.
Right.
And they play exactly the same. There's no difference between the two other than color.
And so they're going to be taking each other's jobs, right? So the field will become competitive.
Yeah, definitely. And then why the smugglers help is that each region becomes more lucrative for the other two who are more about area control to dominate. And so it's a really cool tug of war that can happen.
Yes, because not all areas are created equal. So some areas are more lucrative to dominate, like you said.
Yeah.
And some areas are not.
And that's thematic, right? Like, because if you're thinking about, I always think about Pirates of the Caribbean when we play this game, because it's like a fun, not serious version of being a pirate.
Right.
And there's like Tortuga, there's a city, and if it's lucrative and making money, you know, the Bluefin Squadron probably wants to have control of that.
Yeah.
And the mollusks also probably want to have control, so they're going to fight over it. All because of trade and commerce from the smugglers.
I think that is a really good immersive point to this game, and the reason why like my brain can't connect that quite as well as you maybe is because the stylized art is animals, and I just feel like if this were like styled after real human pirates,
okay,
I might be drawn into the theme a little more. Now that doesn't mean it's a bad game, just I don't know that my imagination can take me to like, oh, my fish captain, or
welcome.
So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I need to open the walls of my imagination.
Ooh, that's right. Set sail on new adventures.
That's right. I do.
I think too, for this category in particular, the immersiveness, we get stuck on, is it narrative?
Well, I do.
Yeah,
of course.
Both of us do.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying. We're trying to be better.
Yeah.
Because I think in listening back to some recent shows, we're like, no, it's not immersive. But I think what we're really saying, or even some of our early shows, what we're saying is it doesn't tell a good story, like literal story.
Yes.
There's no chapters
yeah.
or whatever.
No, this does a pretty good job of building out the world it's trying to build out.
Let me ask you a random question. So I don't know if you knew this, but this game started as a space game when it was first acquired by the company.
Before they knew they were doing arcs? Because that's a space game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this started first.
Okay.
Do you think that would have changed your opinion on the game immersiveness?
Probably.
Yeah, if it were like space cats and space lizards or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, because that's even harder for me to understand. But then, you take the space theme and you put it into Star Wars, and I'm immersed.
Maybe because it's established world. I don't know.
Yeah. But like the immersivity of Cosmic Encounter.
Yeah.
It's not really there for me because it's like these random characters in space and they're not humans, and as far as I know, humankind doesn't do this stuff in space right now. So, yeah, it's a leap for my imagination.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would say it does. In my opinion, it does a great job of telling, a pirate story, and it's different depending on what faction you play.
That's true.
So, there you go.
Do you think it's fun?
I like this game.
Yeah.
The first couple times, I think we both had the same opinion. We were just kind of like, oh, maybe not as good as we thought.
It was like for us, it was like Fort, which not mechanically, but just
It didn't click right away.
we were like, oh, is that it? And then we played it more and more, and it started to develop.
And it's really, really great with 3 or 4.
Yes.
2 is still good, but I don't think it's great with 2.
Right.
It's a good game.
And
with
that
2.
for me is like leads into the replayability or
Sure.
the worth it
Yeah.
category. Because if you're someone that only gets the opportunity to play 2-player, like you're a couple like us, or you're a roommate situation or whatever, this is probably not worth it for you to buy. We're going to buy it because it's leader games and we just have a collection of leader games.
Yeah, and we have opportunities to play with more.
Yes, and we have opportunities to play with more. I think it's just crying out for a bot. Like,
At the 2-player level.
we just talked about this after our most recent playthrough. We
Yeah.
were just like, it would be, well, us talking like we know things, but it would be, quote, so easy to just do like a bot smuggler
Yeah.
in the background of a 2-player game, and that it just does certain things depending on the die roll or the card you draw or whatever.
Or one thing I didn't think of is I wonder if it's easier to make a bot for the other guys.
Yeah,
Like, is
maybe
that
too.
easier
Yeah, because then it's just like a priority list of where they go and how they attack.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, I would love to have the opportunity to add a neutral third player when you and I play.
Yeah.
In fact, we did that a couple times. We both kind of like tag teamed a smuggler player
Right.
to get a more full experience of the game rather than just playing it at 2. And even doing that, it was a lot more fun than just 2.
Right. Do you think that they already have the idea of like an AI or a bot player,
I'm sure at one point it was thought of.
and then they are just waiting on it so they can make more money?
No,
release?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think it was probably thought of at one point and then scrapped just due to time.
Yeah.
And like development time. 'Cause,
Sure.
I mean, it just takes time to figure all that stuff out. And if they're trying to launch it around this time, which it should be out by the time this episode goes live, like it could have added 4 more months. Like, I don't know how all that works. I know how it works
Absolutely.
in the tech world,
Right. We're not,
but board game world, like,
designing
I don't
games.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, we are super good designers now after our Marvel Champions design.
That's true. We've talked about that. Yes.
But yeah, I would love to have that. I would love to have more, like a card pack with more crew.
Yep.
I think that would be an easy add. And that doesn't even have to be expensive. I'm not looking for more factions like Root in this game.
No.
Just more stuff.
Yeah. Additional tiles even.
Yeah, maybe
with-
some different weather effects and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Like you said, I don't think I'm looking for another faction either. I just am looking for a better 2-player experience and a few different variations in
Yeah, definitely.
the gameplay. But overall, it's worth it for us.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's worth it for honestly, most board game fans
Right.
who enjoy playing games. It's unique. It's got some fun mechanics that are different. I like the dice. I've said before that I am a sucker for dice games. This isn't a true dice game, but there is some randomness in the actions you can take based on what you roll.
Yeah.
And I think the cards make it fun. There's some fun ones. The crew, and I don't know if this is one that I keep on seeing online that people talk about, Ange. It's called the Sea Witch. So this is a crew you can get. And basically you can teleport your ship to the opposite end of the map.
Oh,
so
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, so normally you can't fall off the map.
Right.
Or you can't force someone off the map. But if you have this crew, you can like bloop and be on the opposite side of the world.
Yeah.
Just by moving. So that's pretty cool.
That is neat.
And we've had some other fun ones. You had one last game that was like the smuggler, or is it the trawler?
I'm trying to remember it. There was one that gave me extra money going through debris or wreckage or whatever.
Yeah, I
it's
think
called.
that's the trawler. Yep.
Okay. Which is nice because, like Christian mentioned before, we're not like sitting on a lot of money during these playthroughs we've done.
Yeah, I don't know if we're playing wrong, but we seem pretty poor pirates when we play this game.
Not in our skills poor, but just literally like not
game poor.
Yeah, we don't have money. The cards are fun. They add stuff and abilities that are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
So that's
you can deal extra damage with a gunner. You can pay somebody to not fight you.
Oh, that's right. We had that one.
You can do all sorts of fun things, and there's so many of these cards, and it's just fun to see. I feel like every game is different, adds another layer of asymmetry because these are so different.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really cool. I just wanted to highlight a couple of those. I agree with Angela. I think it's worth it. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't have bought this game just based on our fanboyness.
Yes.
Of the company. So any last words, Ange, that you want to say about Leader? Or not Leader. Well, them too.
Well,
but
okay.
also Ahoy.
Yeah, I would just reiterate, if you're a solo player, this is not for you.
There's no reason to play this.
Yeah, and this is... It really shines at 3 or 4.
You want to know what's good too? Another thing we should hit is the price point. It's not crazy.
Yes.
It's like $40.
Yeah, it's
maybe
a great
50,
price point.
But it's a good, cheaper end of the spectrum in board games. If you're looking for something new for the holidays, check it out.
Yes. All right, we will be back. We're going to talk about something that came to our minds while we played Ahoy. Okay, we are back, and something, it might seem silly, but it's really important to us.
It's grinding our gears.
It's really grinding our gears.
Maybe me more than Angela.
No, I'd say it's annoying to me too. That came up when we played Ahoy and reminded us of other games where this has come up, is the player boards warping. It's so annoying. And they came out of the box warped, yes?
No, I don't think so. I think they're pretty flat.
And then we
I think
left
it's just
them on the table?
It's just from storage.
Just from storage? Okay. I don't remember a time where these weren't warped. So then, we lay a bunch of heavy books on them for days. And then now they're warping the other
direction?
way.
Yeah.
And so we're really, it's not huge. It's not like it's bent in two or anything, or a rainbow bridge of bending.
Of Ahoy boards.
Yes, but it's just annoying, and I wanted to bring up warping in games.
Yeah. Other than placing heavy things on them, do you people out there have any tips and tricks to stop this from happening?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder and I think it's probably partly due to it, is storing the game horizontal versus vertically. And I wonder if keeping it horizontal limits that.
Yeah.
Especially if there is room for them to lean inside the box. Like maybe the box is not super tight, and so there's room for it to kind of lean against the cover inside or lean against something else and then slowly start to warp. I don't know. Another thing I've noticed just based on some other games that we have that do it as well is that most of them are not double-sided, but they're like...
Thick.
they're two layered, double layered.
Yeah.
So these Ahoy ones are great. There's spaces for your dice. They click right in. It'd be awesome if Fruit had this, by the way, but so they're not all the stuff is not sliding all over the place. But like some other games that I've noticed this in that we own are Outer Rim.
Yes.
Those ship boards. No, those are just super funky shaped. So
And they're not as durable. Like they're not 2-ply, are
no,
they?
they are because they have those sliders, on the
that. I
Yeah.
was thinking of the
like the actual
your
ship
literal
sheet.
ship.
No,
Yeah.
those are just cardstockish.
Yeah.
So like the actual like ship dashboard thing.
Yes, the dashboard.
that can get warpy. And then
Yes.
also it happened to Merchants of the Dark Road. They have
Yes.
those caravan.
Same thing,
player
dice
boards.
placement.
Yeah, it's kind of it's the same game. No, it's not. But the same thing. It's a dual layered board, and it just kind of for whatever reason warped. And I know there's a lot of factors that go into that.
Right. Weather,
And then there's no humidity here. Everything's dry as a bone.
Yeah.
So we know it's not humidity.
Right.
But it could be the opposite. So I don't know. Again, like
We just need either commiserate with us so that we don't feel like we're the only ones out there, or we need some advice. Is it maybe something you can only like do preventative measures towards, and once it happens, it's like too bad?
I think it's fixable.
Yeah, and again, nothing that we mentioned is unplayable. It's just annoying.
It's just annoying.
Yeah.
That's true. Especially when it's a newer game and you're like, let's sit down and play Ahoy. It's like, oh, you're just kind of like pressing
Yes.
the board down as it like
Yeah.
bounces back into a weird shape.
Yeah.
Cards do this too, and we get it, but it's just something we noticed with this game. Luckily, the sea tiles in this game haven't done that. Those are also dual layered, but they are they're more compact and
Yeah.
smaller.
And it's just like buying a book, and like there's like a
Like cracking the spine.
well, that's a big damage point. But like if the corner of a hardcover book is a little dented,
Oh, smushed.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, it's not perfect, and I just bought it.
Yeah, I get that. So yeah, what do you guys do? Vertical storage, horizontal storage, don't care.
Does it not matter?
Yeah, maybe it doesn't happen to you. It's just something that we've been dealing with a couple times this year, which is just kind of funny.
Maybe we just have warp energy in our household.
Oh my gosh. To the stars. Let's go.
All right. That's all we have to say about warping. Let's talk about joyful things.
Joyful, joyful.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That was beautiful. We're going to end the show like we end the show every week. Angela, what's bringing you joy?
I'm going to say that Matchbox 20 is bringing me joy.
Matchbox 20?
Yeah.
Rob Schneider from Matchbox 20?
Rob Schneider is not from
No?
Matchbox 20.
Did they say the wrong name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Rob Thomas.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah, you were really
It's
close.
Dave Thomas.
Rob Schneider is a person. He's like
He's from SNL. You
Yeah.
can do it.
he's the bellboy in Home Alone 2 or whatever.
Dave Thomas is from Wendy's,
Yes.
famously.
Yeah. Okay. So I just I've loved Matchbox 20 since I was in, I don't know, upper elementary school, 5th grade.
Really?
And so I just put on I think it's their first album, the first one I know about, Yourself or Someone Like You, as I was doing dishes the other day, and I remembered every single word.
Is that the one with 3 a.m. on it?
Yep.
Yeah.
But not just the popular songs. Like I remembered.
Well, no, you have a thing with lyrics that you don't forget them.
Yeah, it's like a steel trap.
We love music in this house. Toot our own horn. We're a musical family.
We were very musical.
Multiple instruments, many Grammys have been won.
Many.
So we're always listening to music and playing music on something. And Angela has every lyric to every song she's listened to more than once memorized, it seems. I could listen to the same song 100 times. Like my favorite songs, like Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi.
Which you've listened to half your life.
Yeah, love it. I don't know the words. There's some Jimmy Eat World. I talked about Jimmy Eat World the past couple weeks.
Yep.
There's a song called Futures, which is really great. Listen to it hundreds of times. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because especially when they're from my past. When you used to like buy a CD, I would open the jacket and I would just sit down, listen to the whole CD and read the lyrics.
As it was going on.
As it was going
on. So,
on.
imprinted into your mind.
Yeah. I mean, it was lyrics in print. Like I was reading it. So, I don't know. That's probably why.
Yeah, I guess maybe I do the same thing. I could tell you what chords some songs are based on the guitar, like over and over again.
I'm not weird.
No, I'm not saying you are. It's just different between you and me because we both.
You and I are different.
I say we both equally like music.
But we're very different.
But the way we enjoy it is 100% different.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Well, Matchbox 20, do you like any of their newer stuff?
I mean, define newer. You mean newer than the first CD?
Yeah.
I mean, I will always enjoy Rob Thomas's voice.
Dave.
So like when he So when he branched out on his own and did like his own little solo career
Didn't he do something with Carlos Santana?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So I like it, but I like it better when they're a group.
The album that has Bright Lights on it, remember that song? Mm-hmm. I got way into that one. That one was good. I enjoyed that one.
I like the older stuff.
Yep. That sounds about right. Angela, also, what are you reading?
Oh, okay. I was a little more prepared for it this time. You want to know why?
Because we just did this.
No, because I just mentioned a book when we were talking about warpage.
Oh, yeah.
And then my brain went, oh, books. He's going to ask me about it. So anyway, yes, what am I reading? I am reading a physical book entitled The Disappearing Act. It's a
magic
thriller.
I think I said that last time.
Yeah, it's not magic. It's not magic. And then I am listening to a fantasy book, which is unusual for me.
Very.
It was recommended by an author that I really like on an interview I heard.
Okay.
So it's called Sendlin Ascends.
Those words sound the same.
Yeah. You know, like how someone goes up a ladder, they're ascending. So it's his name, Sendlin Ascends.
And is he ascending into like kingdom or power or what is Sendlin doing?
He is ascending the Tower of Babel.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So is he speaking a bunch of different languages?
No, and it's not like biblical, if you know the biblical part there. But it's very, very interesting. And I have since learned it's a series. Okay. So there's 3 books in the series, I believe, which makes sense because I'm at about 90% on my listening device. And there is a lot to be resolved.
You're just like, how is this going to happen? Mm-hmm. And I told her, too, that a lot of fantasy sci-fi books wrap everything up quickly. So here's my prediction for this book.
Okay.
They'll wrap up a majority of the story.
Okay.
But then they'll be like, and then that guy got away. Or, oh my gosh, how did this rock get in my pocket?
Okay.
Whatever it is. And then that will kick off book 2.
So one of the and this is not spoiling anything, but one of the major premises in this book is that he has lost his wife in the tower.
Okay. So he's going to get a letter.
So he's not going to find her this book, I don't think.
But he might get a letter that says 2 more floors.
Okay, so he's going to get some sort of clue.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my guess.
So back to joy. What's bringing you joy?
Well, thanks for asking, Angela. I'll let you know what I'm reading as well.
Yes. Christian, what are you reading?
No, I figured I might as well answer this question too, because I'm actually reading 2 books at the same time, which has happened one time in my life, which is right now.
Wow, you're becoming like me.
Slowly but surely.
You know how they say, the more you're married to someone, the more you
like them.
Yeah. Become like each other.
I don't know if that thing. Look it up. Probably.
Okay, I'll look it up.
So I'm reading a book by Brandon Sanderson called Cytonic.
Ooh.
I think that's how you say it. Anyways.
That sounds very like animatronic.
Cytonic. You know what? I don't know what it's called. It's like it started off as like Top Gun in space,
Okay.
And then each book, so there's 3. I'm on the 3rd one. The second one was very different than the first one. And then this one already is very different than the second. And it's going to wrap everything up. It's like futuristic. It's kind of YA-ish, which is fine. It reads fast.
Yeah.
So it's fun. And then I'm reading one called The 3-Body Problem, which is rich.
That sounds like nonfiction.
No, it's very fiction.
Okay.
But it was written by a Chinese author and then translated. And you can tell that it's translated. So it's very, at times, dry.
Okay.
Because of the translation. But I'm halfway through it. I'm pushing through. I've heard great things. So I'm just waiting for it to like really explode.
It will.
It's still good.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
Is that what's bringing you joy?
No, I hate reading. So
you hate reading.
No, I'm just kidding. Right now it's World Cup, and I don't usually really like soccer, but since our kids started playing soccer a few years ago, we have been more and more interested in it. So we've watched a handful of matches, I think they're called.
Yes.
And it's just been kind of fun to see professionals play that sport well.
As opposed to
11 and 10-year-olds.
Yeah, those are a little different.
So that's been fun. We'll hopefully catch a U.S. game here coming up if they make it out of the first round, which they probably won't. But yeah, I'm just enjoying it more than I thought it would.
I do like it as well.
And also Marvel Snap is still going.
Okay. Well, now that we've discussed Marvel Snap again, Christian is still saying that he's going to do a podcast on Marvel Snap.
Coming soon, TM.
And he is not following through on that, so...
Well, I need a co-host. So if you want to be my co-host for the Marvel Snap podcast, it's going to be called Snappy Pappy Podcast.
Are you taking auditions?
Sure.
Okay.
Send them to hello@marriedandbored.com.
Perfect. Christian's serious. He will absolutely...
Yeah, there's like
take you
98% serious about that.
He needs someone that's like me in the sense that they will plan and get him to record because you just need someone to give you that oomph.
Yeah, but then also I could just be like, hey, let's just see what happens. Let's just wing it.
That's true.
And it could be the greatest episode of podcasting ever.
So stay tuned for that. For now, anything else to say about Ahoy? Board games?
No, Ahoy is great. It's another 4-letter word to add to your repertoire. That's the second time I've used that word today. But yeah, definitely look it out. It should be hitting shelves right now before the holidays. We are looking forward to playing it more. We're going to be coming at you soon with some fun little holiday shows. We have a great idea that we're trying to, wrap it all up and tie it together so we can get it out to you guys.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Ange, do you just want to let everyone know how they can get in contact with us in the usual fashions?
Yes. We are on Instagram at Married and Bored. We are on Twitter at Married Bored. You can visit our website, marriedandbored.com. There's wonderful, probably dated, but wonderful pictures of us.
Dated, for sure.
Yes. And we are much more beautiful now.
Tons.
And you can also email us, hello@marriedandbored.com. We love interacting with people. We love your reviews and your ratings. If you want to do that on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, that would be awesome. And yeah, talk to us.
Yeah. Talk to us. Let us know what game you're hoping to get for the holidays. I think that's a good question to leave us with.
Okay.
And we hope everyone has a good, right now it's Thanksgiving time.
In the U.S.
The U.S. has a good Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Married and Bored podcast. And guess what? We have a website where you can listen to podcast episodes and so much more. Find us at marriedandbored.com, or you can email us at hello@marriedandbored.com, or follow us on Instagram at Married and Bored. Music in this episode is by Joseph McDade. See you next time.